Welcome back to Good Evening KU, and what a busy evening it is going to be for the next 2 days, isn't it?
Indeed. I'm William.
I'm Matthew. It's good to see you all back here. Tonight we have the basketball game, and tomorrow we have the election night right here on KJH. We're going to be covering the election from 6 to 10, but in the meantime, we've got a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yep. Yeah.
Plenty of races on the ballot this cycle. We've got the voter guide for those of you who may not know what's going on. We've got, at least here in Kansas, we've got the governor's race. We've got Attorney General, Secretary of State, Treasurer. We've got Senate, U.S. Senate. We've got that up. We've got all the House races up. So it's going to be a busy night, isn't it?
All the local races as well, in that. Funnily enough, I actually know the Lieutenant General on the Democratic side. I know David Toland. He actually he goes to my church, and so I know him personally. So it's kind of interesting to know somebody. Normally politicians are these faceless people you see once, on a screen or something. But it's kind of nice sometimes to know one of them and actually kind of know what they're really like.
It is.
Yep.
So it's incredibly important to vote, though, because that's how you made your voice heard. Here at KU, at least in 2020, 71% of KU students voted. So, we've got a nice percentage, and that's on the incline according to the National Study of Learning, Voting, and Engagement. So, we're doing something right here at KU, but, there certainly are a lot of problems with the election process, just in terms of people not being engaged and people being discontent. I know I've heard from a lot of people that they're not happy with where this country is going, where the system's going.
It's the idea of just it kind of has this modern thing of we're just on politics all the time. It feels like we're just buried in it all the time, thinking about it all the time, just because everything is now connected. And I think there's a bit of that drain, and I think we've seen it over 2016, 2018, 2020, kind of that drain. But I don't think it's it's weird, because I think it's both been negative, but I think it's also been very positive. I voted, my first election was 2016, which was fittingly quite the election to have a first vote in. So it was, and that I think really it changed kind of who I was. It brought about my personality. It brought kind of what I care about, what I strive for. So voting is voting's a chance to really at least say to yourself, I did make a difference. I did something. To me, it just gives me that confidence. Say, well, now I can at least say I don't agree with this, because at least I showed that I committed to the process and I voted, and that really makes a difference.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people. The 67% of people voted in 2020, but NPR did a poll after the 2020 election. 33% people didn't vote, and those who talked to, mostly those who were young and poor voters, were less likely to vote. And they said they were, politically disconnected and unhappy with their elected officials in the process, and that's why they didn't vote. And so it's important to emphasize how important it is to vote, because it doesn't matter, you may think you're one vote among millions, because there was about 160 million votes cast in the last major election. But, races have been decided by one vote.
Yeah, and a good example of voting is, the primary abortion, here in referendum here in Kansas, this was the thing that at the time, you have this idea of they're going to put on the primary so that nobody would notice, kind of notice it. And, in the end, it actually ended up, going well. It ended up, people really turned out for that, and it shows, this idea of, yes, you can. But it's interesting that there was a massive turnout for that. And I think it's this thing where I think issues people are more willing to turn out for than actual people. People want to vote yes or no on an issue rather than voting on, say, a person who has may disagree with certain things or agree with certain other things. People are complicated. It's just kind of how the world is. Sometimes.
Fair enough. So if you don't know whether you're registered to vote or not, you can find out if you're registered to vote at vote.org. You can also find your polling location there. Tomorrow, here in Lawrence and in Douglas County, the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And as a reminder, if you get there late, because you may be You may get in line at 6:57 because you're in classes or you got a job or something. As long as you are in the line by 7 o'clock, you can vote.
Yep.
And every vote is going to matter, especially in a contentious election like here in Kansas, because the governor's race and the Kansas 3rd District, for the people who are watching from Kansas City, those are going to be incredibly hard races. And I'm surprised. I heard the Attorney General race was also going to be very hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think all races this year are just going to be they're going to be tight.
They are.
It's kind of how things have been these last couple of years.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So moving on to sports.
Ooh, we got a good sports game tonight, don't we?
Yeah, we've got this is
Omaha.
Omaha.
We got Omaha tonight. The Kansan is always putting out these wonderful posters here for the basketball games. I get to plug my own organization there.
It's been a good weekend for KU.
It is. Who do you think is going to win tonight?
I would assume it's KU. I mean, I'd be very surprised if Omaha wins. But hey, a couple of years ago, K-State lost to Fort Hays, so it can happen. Someday anything can happen, kind of thing. But I think KU's got it.
Think KU's got it?
Yep.
Do you have a score prediction? Do you know enough about sports to have a score prediction?
I don't know enough about basketball to have a score prediction. I watch a little bit of it. I watch March Madness. I kind of am, mostly a football person, so of course I was very excited that KU is now bowl eligible for the first time in, it's over 10 years, I think, but it's been, and being bowl eligible, but also still having a chance to go to maybe a better bowl, it's been a crazy season, to say the least.
Fair enough. Hey, speaking of things that happened Saturday, did you hear what happened at the Big Mill?
I did. I heard about it in one of my classes.
Yeah, some got crashed into.
Yeah.
And in fact,
we've got an interview with Grayson. By Grayson, who's going to talk a little bit with one of our crewmates who was involved in it. Over to you, Grayson.
Thanks, guys. I was generally shocked and taken back when I found out that one of our KUJH's own, Ashley, was involved in the wreck. So, Ashley, if you want to tell me about exactly what happened.
Yeah, so me and my roommate were actually having dinner with her family, some of her family members at the Big Mill on Friday night. And we happened to be sitting at the table that was up against that glass window where the car came through. And so, it was shocking, crazy. We were standing up, we were about to leave. Matter of 5 seconds, we would have been gone. And next thing I knew, I just felt this massive force from behind me, and I hit the floor. And I turned back and I looked and saw that my foot was stuck under part of the brick in the building. So I just yanked my foot out as hard as I could. My boot got stuck underneath the brick. Lost my boot, got up, and then immediately after, every person in the restaurant was trying to help, which was really great. I know there was a lady that came and I had a little cut on my hand and it was bleeding down my arm, and so she cleaned that, bandaged it up for me. They were taking care of my roommate as well. She has some pretty big cuts in her knees from where she fell. So yeah, everyone in the restaurant took really good care of us. The owners brought us water, just kept seeing if we needed anything until the paramedics were able to get there, and then we both had to get checked out by the paramedics as well. So thank God neither of us had serious injury. Somehow we didn't get any of the glass cuts in our skin anywhere. I really don't know how that happened because we were right up against that glass. So we were just really blessed to be in the shape that we're in right now.
Yeah, I don't really want to call it lucky. It's more like fortunate out of the misfortunate, kind of in that scenario.
Yeah.
But what do you think the reason was that you didn't, that the wreck was not as fatal?
Well, we kind of talked about we got hit by the back of the car instead of the car coming head on into the restaurant. So again, we don't know the full story on the driver or anything like that, but we were hit by the back of the car, and it seems as though it hit something first and then the back of the car hit us. And so because that was almost the second impact, it didn't hit us with the full force it could have. We were also standing up, like I said, we were about to leave. And so having been standing up rather than sitting down, our heads weren't closer to the ground where we got hit. Our legs were closer. So I have big bruising down my entire right leg, and that's pretty much the extent of my injuries. But that helped. We also had our backs to the window. We didn't see it coming at all. We had no chance to like tense up, which people have told me was also really good, because had I tensed up, it could have caused more neck, head injuries, something like that. So,
See, I've only seen like what the wreck looked like immediately afterwards. I didn't actually see any video or footage of what happened. But like on 9th Street, like when you're driving by, so the car would have had to spin all the way around, and then the back would have had to go through the glass.
Yeah, because it was odd that it was the back of the car, but lucky that it was the back of the car, because had it just come head on into the restaurant, it would have been way worse.
I'm completely like, I couldn't even imagine, like I don't think I'd be able to get into a car again. Like, do you think you're gonna be able to walk into Big Mill again?
I don't know. It's definitely going to take some time to like be able to go there again. I mean, I don't want to see it right now. I don't want to, I mean, they're closed for repairing their building, obviously, but I need time for sure to just try to like recover from that, because it is more like mental right now than physical, thankfully. And yeah, I mean, even just walking across the street and having the cars like stop for you, I mean, like I've been way more cautious even right now, just because it's like in your head that like, you know, the car came and hit you and you don't want that to happen again, so you're just extra cautious. So
it's kind of like what like you'd like relate it to like a mental block, like when anyone gets like in a normal car accident. But
right.
I think this one might be a little bit more elevated.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but you know, humor sometimes is the best medicine, so.
It is, yeah. And I think the hardest part for me was just my family is 12 hours away in Texas, and so I've just been here with myself trying to recover, and it's been really hard on my parents because they obviously want to take care of me, know how I'm doing, but I've just been here taking care of myself. Like, thankfully, my roommate's family was able to take me to get checked out and everything afterwards, and so I've been taken really well care of, and that's really, like, I'm really grateful for that.
I mean, you have a really positive outlook on it. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I think that's really scary not having anyone else here to help you through it. But I'm glad that you have your roommate and she experienced the same thing.
Right, yeah, we are bonded for life over it. If we weren't close already, we're really close now, and there's nothing, we'll remember it for the rest of our lives.
I mean, completely, like I couldn't even imagine like telling people that I was hit by a car. Like, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that your parents think that everything's gonna like be fine. I'm glad that you're gonna be able to see them in a couple weeks.
Right.
During Thanksgiving break. But honestly, I think we're all glad that Ashley's still here to live to tell the tale. But we want to thank you so much. We're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna be back with the news.
Welcome back. I'm Caden.
And I'm Rebecca. This is your Monday Good Evening KU News Update. Both former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden are spending the day campaigning for their respective parties ahead of tomorrow's midterm elections. Trump is in Ohio for a rally for J.D. Vance, who was previously a Trump critic. Biden is in Maryland trying to keep the Democrats from losing Senate control.
The Democrats have held the majority in both the House and the Senate for the past 2 years, but the margins have been narrow. The biggest issue for many voters is inflation, and in past election years, that means a Republican swing. Current polls show that 30 seats in the House could go either way.
A Lawrence man has been arrested for threatening to kill state congressman Jake LaTurner. Federal prosecutors say that 31-year-old Chase Neal left a voice message at LaTurner's office and continued to make threatening calls the following day. A hearing is scheduled for tomorrow.
Recent statistics for the Lawrence School District show a 60% increase in behavior issues at the middle school level. One parent told the Lawrence Journal World, that her son had been beaten up twice this semester and doesn't want to go back to school. District officials blame some of the results on the COVID pandemic and how it interrupted both student academic and social learning.
The men's basketball season officially gets underway tonight against Omaha. KU will be without head coach Bill Self, who has been suspended for the first 4 games. Assistant coach Norm Roberts will be in charge and calling on his 6 years of experience as the head coach at St. John's from 2004 to 2010. Roberts said he doesn't expect to see any changes with tonight's game plan.
You know, I think it'll be a situation where we always talk about faces change, expectations don't. So our players know our expectations are our expectations of KU and what we should do on the court, and our coaching staff knows that too.
The defending national champions returned 2 starters and will face an Omaha team that finished with just 5 wins last season. Jalen Wilson scored 23 points and DeJuan Harris had 10 assists in the last Thursday exhibition 94-63 win over Pittsburgh State. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. in Allen Fieldhouse.
And for more in sports, let's toss it over to Evan.
Thank you. Everyone is still talking about the football team's big win over Oklahoma State on Saturday. Running back Devin Neal and quarterback Jason Bean each had big games in the Jayhawks' 37-16 win over the Cowboys. Neal rushed for 229 yards and caught 6 passes for another 110 and scored 1 touchdown. For his efforts, Neal was named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. Bean threw for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns, but his best play of the day was a 73-yard touchdown run where he outran the entire Oklahoma State defense. Kansas is now 6-3 overall and 3-3 in the conference. With the win, KU is now bowl eligible, which means the team gets to practice for another month, which coaches will tell you is a must for a winning program. The university will also see a financial gain in an increased share from the Big 12 Conference money. The students rushed the field and the goalposts came down and eventually found their way into Potter Lake. The volleyball team fell in straight sets at Baylor on Saturday to fall to a 16-8 overall and 6-6 in the Big 12 Conference. Super senior Rachel Langs recorded her 500th career block in the loss. The Jayhawks will next be at home on Saturday afternoon against West Virginia. The swim and dive team defeated Nebraska 157-143 last Friday. Divers Liz Van Leeuwen and Gabriela San Juan Carmona finished first and second and both qualified for the NCAA zone cut 3-meter event. Next up for the team is a trip to Columbia in 2 weeks for the Mizzou Invite. The women's basketball season tips off on Wednesday night in Allen Fieldhouse. The Jayhawks will host Jacksonville with a 7 p.m. start on ESPN+. And finally, former Jayhawk Sharon Lokedi was the winner of yesterday's New York City Marathon. The winner of the 2018 NCAA 10,000 meters was running her very first marathon and won the race with a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 23 seconds.
I'm out of words. I'm really excited. I'm just so happy that, I just won,
You did. You sure did.
That's all for sports. After the break, Emma and Isabel will be here for the next installment of their weekly food debate.
Welcome to this week's food debate. Today we're talking everything about Oreos and taste testing some.
I'm excited. Are you, Emma?
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm so
I love
excited.
Oreos.
Me as well. Who doesn't love Oreos?
That's fair.
And the best part is there's so many flavors to choose wherever you go, Target, Walmart, all the above. So, Emma, what is your favorite Oreo?
I think mine honestly has to be a mint Oreo. Mint Oreo.
Mint Oreo.
Because like it's kind of like a knockoff Thin Mint. So like when it's not Girl Scout cookie season, I can still get like my Thin Mint intake.
Yes, yeah, you get your kick with it for
Yes.
sure. No, I get that. I feel like mint is like I feel like that's a controversial topic on its own, you know? Like I've heard some people say like they will not go near mint items just because it tastes like toothpaste. Like I've heard it before, and I don't know if that offends you. But
No, I mean I get it. It's an acquired taste.
it's an acquired taste.
So how about you? What's your favorite Oreo flavor?
There's so many to choose from. I think I'm gonna have to go with chocolate Oreos.
Just like
I
a
feel
standard
just the
Oreo?
plain chocolate Oreo. I don't know.
So are you like a double stuffed, a mega stuffed, or like just a regular stuffed Oreo?
I think double stuff is that perfect happy medium, you know? I mean, but there's also the thin.
The thins?
Like,
the thin ones
the
are
thins.
good. Like
So
the
there's,
thins,
like,
like
every
mint
layer.
ones.
Right? That's your favorite.
Amazing.
That's your
I
favorite.
love those.
I do love all Oreos though. For the most part, I'm not really a golden Oreo type of person, but you can't really go wrong. But yeah, I'll stay on my ground with chocolate Oreos.
That's valid.
Yes.
So today we're doing something a little fun. So Isabel and I each went at different times to Target. We picked out a mystery flavor of Oreos that I don't know what Isabel bought and she doesn't know what I bought.
No idea.
So we're gonna take turns. I'm gonna go first and I'll show you guys what I bought for Isabel to try and guess
I'm gonna
the
close my
flavor. So like if you wanna like hold out your hand, I'll just like set the
Right,
Oreo in your
okay,
hand.
okay.
But you gotta like close your eyes.
Yes, I will close my eyes. No cheating
Yeah,
here.
there's no cheating here. Like
Okay.
the only
No.
thing we discussed earlier was the color of the package. Like that's as far as we know
Yes,
for each
that's all.
other's.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta
Okay,
get it out of my,
yeah.
gotta get it out of my bag.
I'll just hang on. Eyes are closed.
Okay, so
Y'all can
this
zoom
is my
Oh
flavor.
my gosh, this is stressful.
So
I want to get it right. I'm not gonna get it right.
you don't know, maybe you will.
I don't know.
Oh man, I should have prepped this a little bit beforehand. There we go.
Okay.
That smells like that's an interesting
Can I
smell.
smell it? I'll smell
No,
it
you
before.
can smell the actual Oreo.
Okay.
This is strong.
Okay.
Maybe. Hold on. It's not coming out of the package. It's one of those
All right,
ones you can't like.
Emma.
Oh, there is a pull tab.
I'm getting hungry. Where are they?
I didn't
Where are
realize
they?
there was a pull tab, guys, and I just opened it from the end. So, but there you go.
Well, that was weird. Okay. Here's the Oreo. Okay. Wait, I think I know. All right. It's cinnamon.
Okay.
Cinnamony. Is it a Christmas flavor? Am I asked? Okay.
Possibly.
This is a rhetorical question.
It might be a holiday flavor.
It's Snickerdoodle.
Yeah, it's Snickerdoodle. It's like these are kind of cute. Like they're very like.
Over my eyes. That was good.
Like
I'm pleasantly surprised.
it smells
Oh,
odd.
I just got all over the table. Wow. Oh my
but
gosh.
it's kind of fun. The icing has like little like sprinkle pieces. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
I promise I didn't cheat. I just had a feeling. It's cinnamony. Like they got it spot on. Like kudos to Oreo for that one.
That's straight up a frosted
That's
Snickerdoodle.
really good.
That's really good.
Okay. I don't know if mine will top this, to be honest, but we'll see. Are you ready? Ready for mine? I know that one's
Here, I'm gonna
good,
set-
but
We'll just set the Oreo.
yeah,
here.
mine's
We'll
just
face it away.
on the table. You know, hopefully this was sanitary. All right,
You
so
know
now
what?
for
It's
mine.
okay.
All right, ready? Close
Yep,
your eyes.
okay.
Close your eyes. Okay.
My eyes are closed.
So here we go. Do you guys see it? Yeah. All right. It may or may not already be open. We don't need to talk about it.
Maybe we should. No, I'm kidding.
No. All right. There you are.
Okay. This feels thick.
I'll taste one with you.
Okay, I think I know what it is just based off the smell, but like.
What? Actually? No. Cheater.
I'm not cheating. I just
Okay.
used one of my 5 senses. There's 5 senses, right?
Yes, yes. There's that. Okay. What is it?
I'm gonna say like coffee or like mocha.
Nope.
Wait, what is it?
Incorrect. Toffee crunch.
That's similar.
Yeah, no. After smelling, I was like, I
That
totally
is
get
like
why
a
you think
straight
that.
up like.
Yeah.
It smells like coffee.
Right. Do you like it though? How do you
it's
feel
not,
about
it's
it?
not bad. Like
Yeah.
once like I know the flavor, I can taste the toffee more.
Uh-huh.
But like it just straight up tastes like chocolate and smells like coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not bad.
But tasting it, wouldn't think coffee though.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that was fun.
I'm glad we picked two distinctly different
I
flavors.
know, seriously. Yeah, no, I'm glad we. Yeah,
we had like a cinnamon and a toffee. That was a fun.
That was good. I approve,
taste
Oreo.
sensation.
Good job, Oreo.
Yeah, good job, Oreo. This is a real step up from the pumpkin spice.
Oh, definitely.
That
yeah. No, this is
a step up.
This was a good episode.
after
that one.
Honestly, I'd rate both like an 8 out of 10.
Honestly, I'm giving that Snickerdoodle a 9 or a 10. That one's good.
Okay, fair enough.
That one's
Toffee,
good.
8 out of 10. Snickerdoodle, 9.
Right. All right.
Alrighty. So that's kind of it for us this week. We thought we wanted a reason to buy and eat Oreos,
Yeah.
essentially. So
That's really what
here
this
we are.
was.
So next up, we have the Late Night Thoughts, which is a Man on the Street segment that a few of us worked on this past week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Welcome to Late Night Thoughts. Tonight we are asking Jayhawks what they thought about the football game. So we got a couple of questions for you. You ready?
Yeah.
They're pretty hard hitting.
All right.
Alrighty.
Be honest.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Did you see the really good touchdown made by Grady Dick tonight?
I saw a lot of good touchdowns. I was pretty drunk, so I didn't notice the players' names or anything. But I was cheering when we won.
Alrighty. So during the game, did you see Ochai tackle that OSU player? It was like insane.
Listen. No, I did not. He's a basketball freak, and he slipped by his mind because he's a little intoxicated. But she said Ochai, who's a basketball player, is supposed to trick you. And she did trick you.
Did you see Ochai tackle that OSU player?
No, he did?
Yeah, it was insane.
Basketball player, stop playing. What the? No, come on, stop. He's a basketball player. Like,
Okay, you're right. You're right.
dumb.
Do you know who Ochai Baji is?
Yeah,
Who is he?
football player.
That is correct. That's really correct. Did you see the really good touchdown made by Grady Dick?
I'm actually friends with Grady Dick. That's my home. I literally played basketball with him. So that's crazy because he plays basketball on the team.
Yeah, Grady plays basketball, and he did say I look like Megan Thee Stallion, so it's always love there.
Grady Dick?
Grady Dick.
That's the wrong sport, isn't it?
No, I saw him. Yeah, he had the 83-yard touchdown run.
Oh, wait, how did I miss that? Yeah.
No, it was so good. Like, he just happened just to dribble it down the field and made that beautiful touchdown.
Yeah, he had that step back, too. It was crazy.
Did you see Grady Dick make that really good touchdown today?
Absolutely not.
No, he is a basketball player, but good try.
Unrelated, he's so ugly, he's 6'8". I ain't even gonna lie, he's ugly as I bet he's ugly. Like, I saw him in person. I was like, God damn, if he was at my height, no hoes whatsoever. That's not related, but he played basketball. He's good at basketball though. He's a baller though.
I do have another question for you guys. This one's very hard hitting. Gotta think about it for a sec. Where is the goalpost?
Potter Lake! The goalpost, it was in Potter's Lake, but now it's back in Memorial Stadium. I heard we won't have to do a GoFundMe, so hopefully we don't get fined for it.
If you had the opportunity to, would you go swimming with the goalpost?
I'm planning on doing it tonight, so yeah.
Dude, I already did. Like, earlier today, like, I was like, like, my dad's here. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm bored, kind of. I was up in my room. And then I'm like, Potter Lake, we're going swimming. I saw the goalpost, and I started swimming. That's what I did.
Yeah, I will right now, honestly. Screw it.
I kind of involuntarily got pushed in the water, so already kind of did. So probably not after this. I'm gonna stay clean. Yeah.
That's valid. Potter's Lake is a little gross.
It's a lot gross. It is dirty.
As long as I have my floaties, I'm fine.
If a goalpost did go down at OSU,
It ain't going down. Yeah, no.
and it got thrown into a pond, would you go swim with it?
No, it's not going down. That's the thing.
Well, I will say, to answer your question, yes, I'd probably swim with it because I'm nuts. But they guard the field goal post because a few years ago OSU took it down and they threw it over the stadium. So I think a pond's a better option than over the stadium. But if it was in the pond, I think I'd go and jump in with.
Did you see it go in the lake?
I did see it go in the lake, followed by a bunch of Scooby dudes jumping after it.
You didn't want to get in? You didn't want to go swimming?
Didn't want to get in. I've seen what's in Potter's Lake. Smells like manure. We took like my senior pictures there, and it's disgusting. I'm not getting in there.
Well, there you have it. Jayhawks had some interesting answers about the football game. Good evening, KU.